G'day everyone, welcome to another CSBP Market Update. I'm Johnston and joined as ever by our Sales Strategy and Reliability Manager, Ben Sudlow. Hello Ben.
Good morning again, Gray.
Lovely that you can join us again to talk about the world of fertiliser. Why don't we start with cropping phosphates this week? Seeding's in full swing, trucks are rolling out of CSBP's Kwinana works, and our country works and our depots. How are the stocks of phosphates positioned to meet that seeding requirement?
Yeah, okay, so if you think last week I spoke about our granulation plant still running, so we've made a determination now of what stock we need to get through to the end of seeding, and we typically see seeding fertiliser go out until between the first and the second week in June. I think that's still pretty likely in a year like this year. So since last week we've completed we've shut down the granulation plant. We're not making any more seeding fertiliser for the year. We believe we've got enough Agras K-Till to meet our expectations. We've been fully committed on Macro Pro for some time, and we've still got MAP available for sale and for products like AgStar, AgFlow, and so forth to meet the tail end of the seeding requirement this season.
Okay, so it sounds like things are reasonably well positioned.
Yeah, yep.
Going back then to our favourite topic of global nitrogen, since we caught up not that long ago, have there been continued movements in urea pricing?
Let me put some numbers around it, Gray. Maybe that'll help. And as an economist you are, you can help frame up the reason what it all means. So last week there was a cargo sold at US dollars at 268.50. That was a one-off sale last week, and it looked like the market, as we described last week, is sort of drifting down. This week, Monday, Tuesday, sales then was starting to get done at 280s and 285. So whilst that's not a big jump, I mean, what it means in Aussie dollar terms to a landed cost of urea, everything else being equal, being exchange rate being equal and freight rate being equal, is roughly 20 Aussie dollars week to week. So, of course, no sign of that, and should that continue any further into the future, who knows? We've also seen in other markets, Egypt particularly last night, that just edged up on every sale, $2 or $3 US a tonne on every sale. Again, not big movements, but in terms of $20 price movement week to week, it's probably the first real price increase we've seen in, I don't know, perhaps 6 weeks or thereabouts. Yeah.
So not a massive swing or not a massive signal of some great ramp up to come, but equally prices have stopped ebbing, to use your phrasing.
Yeah, for now at least, yeah.
And you spoke last week that there was perhaps the risk opening up of a gap of physical availability in the WA market, perhaps early July, if we continue to see continued strong commitment for June volumes. Is that trend continuing?
Yeah, so if it probably goes back to where the price change was. Is a lot of those May prices, which for loading cargoes in May, were now sold out, and then the producers and traders look to June loading. And the distinction between a May loading and a June loading was actually then what saw that little price bump up that we saw week to week. Now, if you then go to June loading, if you think you're coming from the Middle East, it's going to take 3 weeks to sail here, getting a ship on there and loading a ship and getting it through the ports here. We're now, as we've described before, we're talking about ships now arriving in week 1, week 2 July. And really that's the key time that we're looking at, will we get the stock in there to meet the July need? We have got urea available and expect to have urea available to make Flexi-N in July, because we know we have to and will. And it's just what we anticipate the urea demand's likely to be in June, late June and through the first half of July. Still a question remaining.
Okay, so the take-home message there, though, if for farmers who want urea available in June, is make sure that it gets secured in reasonably short order.
Yes, 100%.
Very good. Okay, on that bombshell, that's our market update for the week. Thanks again, Ben, for joining us.
Cheers, Gray.
See you all out there. Cheers. Bye-bye.
This podcast is provided as general information only. The content of this podcast is not a recommendation and has been prepared without taking your objectives or circumstances into account. Before acting on the content of this, you should consider its appropriateness to your circumstances and seek independent advice.